This is J. Randy here. Good evening to you, good morning to you, good afternoon to you, wherever you are. This is J. Randy on the first half of the tabletop discussion. Welcome to tabletop discussion. And it's always my pleasure to have you guys here. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And what I usually do at the beginning of the show is to be able to share the video broadcast. So I'm about to share the video broadcast. And again, welcome to Tabletop Discussion, a show where we come to interact. And what I'm planning to do, guys, hopefully by, let me see here, hopefully by Friday, yes, by Friday, I will try to give a number so that you guys can call into the show for us to make it very interactive. Yes, so I want to be able to allow you guys to call and have your say on the show, right? So I'm working towards that, and keep your finger crossed because that's something that I really want to bring to this discussion here, where you'll be able to call into the show and express your view, your opinion, and stuff like that. So thank you so much for watching. Let's see here. All right, so let me just do my share here. Okay, and I see two people just appear. And I'd like to say thank you to you guys. We're not going to be here for a long time, guys. We want to make it very short, brief, entertaining with information and leave. Yes. So let me just share my stuff here. And if you're out there, please share too. Yeah, every time getting all kind of different group. Let's see here. Well, called the Free Talk Association. The people can just find all kind of name on Facebook. Free Talk Association. Free Talk Association. Free Talk Association. What the heck is that again? Free Talk Association. Yeah, so guys, if you're just joining me, I'm sharing the video here, and that's why I'm not looking in the camera there. So please do the same for me. Share the video. Yes, just share the video here quickly. Share the video. Share the video. All right, so we are good to go. Let me put this right up here. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me here. This is Jay Rennie here, and I'm here this evening again to present another tabletop discussion. Today, we will be looking at two individuals here. We have Jefferson Koji, the city mayor of Monrovia, and we also have Edizana Cummings here, and we are going to be playing videos, especially on Mr. Koji, and then we're also going to be watching Mr. Edison Cummings here. But before we move forward, here is what I would like to present here, all right? So this video here of Mayor Koji, so let me bring Mayor Koji up here. I'm sure some of you guys saw this video here to the far right here. In fact, let me just do this thing. Why don't I remove Mayor Koji and try to add him back so that we can get him in the middle here. I don't know whether it will be repetitious to have him twice here. All right. So I'm listening to some people coming up and saying that Mayor Koji is not responsible for the deadliness of the city. That's not true. That's not true. The city mayor of any city is in charge of the day-to-day activities of the city. Yes. I see my boy LRB you just joined here. Thank you so much for joining. The city mayor. Oh yeah, I see Henry Yango is here. I see all my starting player on my team. They are all coming in right now. My starting player on my team. You know, when you are a fan of Real Madrid, Barcelona, Chelsea, AC Milan, you got your starting player. Then whenever the game start, you see the player, then you start to worry. So I see my starting player then coming on the field right now. So I'm very happy. So guys, again, welcome to the show here. Today we are going to discuss Mayor Jefferson Koji. Let me just try to put this here. We are going to be discussing Mayor Jefferson Koji. I am of the strong belief that Mayor Jefferson Koji is not competent for that role he currently occupies, and it's only a matter of time that he will give up or the city will overcome him in terms of the type and even the unborn baby in the man's stomach will get to know. Mayor Koji has been in there for 3 years now. Not a single municipal plan to clean the city. Not a single proposal. Not a single project. Not a single plan. Let me repeat it again. To make the city better. No clue, no idea. So when I see some people come out here and say, oh, you can't blame the mayor. No, the mayor need to be blamed. The mayor is is the chief operating executive officer of Morovia. From the safety of people who live in Morovia to the environment being kept clean, it is the city mayor's responsibility to ensure that those things are done. When you come to the America here, where we live, when you go to Europe, you go to any country outside of Liberia that is up on their game, you go to those places without any information regarding the people's rules. But when you get on the ground, what do people do? The people teach you their rules, right? Yes, that's what they do. Back in Morovia, many of us that live there, we were not trained how to manage our trash in the home and bring it to the curb or to the dumpster in order to be put in this particular area for pickup, right? But what happened when you move out of Morovia, out of Liberia, and went to other countries where you begin to see the way people live in the community, where they take their trash and put it to the curb, and people go and put the trash, or in the dumpster. How you think the people manage together? Because the city mayor, the street operation department, the sanitation group, they work to develop a plan. And that plan is to manage how the trash can be picked up from every home. And in that process, they provide awareness and education. So when you pick up your trash, if your trash day was today, Tuesday, if your trash day is coming up tomorrow, how did you manage to know that your trash day will come on a particular day in a week? It is because you have been told. From the place you live to taking your trash from your home to the curb, you got that knowledge based through communication from those who are in charge of where you live. This mayor, people are saying, or some people are saying he should not be blamed. He is to be blamed because as city mayor, you are the leader of that city. You own that city. And you must do everything possible to make sure that the city is clean and healthy. And the only way to make sure that the city is clean and healthy is for you to be able. What Thomas said, I don't even want to hear about this playboy mayor. I couldn't agree with you more. I couldn't agree with you more. He played more than he planned. You are right, Thomas Awaji. He plays more than he planned. And when you have a mayor who plays more than he planned, then there is no hope for the city. Not a single municipal plan. When the man come to America here, What is he here for? He came here, he followed up with Bakari Seller, not going around meeting other mayors to say, look, this is how dirty my city is. I need all the help. He doesn't come to America to sit down with Liberian professionals and say, hey guys, my name is Jefferson Koji. I need all the help that I can get from you guys. The World Bank, the IMF, they both have helped our country, but we are still struggling to get program in place to make things effective for us. What idea do you guys have? Just brainstorm with professional Liberians. Jefferson Koji don't want to do that. But when you see people who come to defend Jefferson Koji, the first question I want you to ask them is, what professional background do you have as it relates to cleaning a city? What basic knowledge do you have? The trash you take from your apartment, from your house, and take it to the dumpster or to the curb for it to be picked up. How do you know that process? Who taught you that process? The reason you are doing that is because you are being informed. You cannot hold people in a community accountable if you are not providing information for them. And that's what Jefferson Koji did not do. You see, when Mary Broad ran the city hall, she was very engaged. She went out there making sure that stubborn Liberians always felt her presence. And that's why she was on the field, as we always say in the professional world, on the field, trying to engage the people. Her plan was more physical than being administrative. And through that process, we saw the city getting clean. There were challenges. She kept things at bay that it could not explore. In the case of Jefferson Koji, none. Let me tell you what Jefferson Koji has done. All right? This incompetent guy, he's not going to the experts for advice. He's not going to the grapevine for some type of experience. You know who you're going to? You're going to men of God. So listen to this. Listen to the mayor, what he has done here, all right? So rather than planning, this is what the mayor has done. All right? So let's listen here. Let's listen here. I'm trying to find the pointer here. The pointer here. All right. But before I get to that video, let me pull a few things up for you guys here, all right? Let me just pass things up for you guys a little bit here, all right? You see, when I tell you guys that Liberia going nowhere, you want to take it for fun. Liberia is a country that going nowhere. You see this guy here? And let me do this here. You see this guy? Many of you don't know the guy. This guy is still masquerading around the town. Yes. This is Mr. Sam Jackson. This man still masquerading around Monrovia, thinking that he is a young man still looking for a job. But I'll tell you this much. No, neither you nor me were in the age that we are today when Sam Jackson was in government. When Sam Jackson was in government. But today, as old as the man is, he's telling you that he's going to get a degree and he wants to work. You see how backward Liberia is? This man and the late Colin Powell, who just passed away, they are in the same generation. A long time ago, Colin Powell retired before he passed away. But you still got this guy in a generation that never even knew what he did 40 years ago. That the same people he passing around today and want to measure on with them. You see, when a country that you live in, a government you work for, if they don't plan your future, you know what happened to you? It's exactly what happened to this guy. The man don't feel that he's supposed to retire and sit somewhere else. The same idea this man has is the same idea that Joseph Boakai is carrying. They never feel that they are old to do anything. They never feel they are able to do anything. The man telling people in this interview that he's going to go get his master's to work on community relationship. Look at this man. These are the people who holding the country back. So let me ask you the question. If this man is rubbing arm with young people like you guys on the ground, you're in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, this man is chasing his 80 years old. And then he in the town there acting like you guys are all the same. But he had been working in government since 40 years ago. So what can the man do for you? These are the people you're looking up to, right? So I just told you why to bring it here. Let me progress here. Another interesting one here too is this guy right here. And you know, most of you guys who go on Spoon TV and talk about and listen to guys like Benjamin Senvi talking about moral character, you saw what the boy did, even though he kind of got some little question behind it. One thing I want you to understand here is what they did with the money they received. There is nothing that say the money they found is missing or some of it got missing. That's what I want you to capture from tonight's discussion. Now, on the flip side, when you look at this guy they call Benjamin Senvi, he took $45,000 from the Liberian people, and he's yet to pay that money. But he go and sit on among a group of people and want to talk about honesty. Yesterday, we spoke about what guidelines and rules do we follow to solve problems in our country. But as it relates to Benjamin Senvi behavior, what value that bound us together to say no to things? So whose side do you take right now? A young man to the left side of your screen who along with his friends found $50,000 and managed to give that money back to the owner of that money. Then this guy called Ben Senvi, who is to my right hand side here, who borrowed $45,000 from the Liberian people, but is now willing to make any payment arrangement, but he is sitting on a show and want to talk about good character. And some of you guys there sit down there and listen to the kind of man here. You see how fucked up that country is and who messing that country up? Many of you guys who watch these guys then to come and make fool out of you guys. This man they call Ben Senvi took $45,000. Do you know what $45,000 can do for somebody in Liberia? If you were to take that $45,000 and go back to Liberia, do you know how many people will give you blessing and will be very grateful to you? But the guy they call Benjamin Senvi took that money from the Liberian government, during the early government, and is yet to pay that money back. And that's why I said honest guy versus the dishonest guy. Benjamin Senvi, you can go and watch Spoon TV anytime, any day you want. I will tell you, RJ Randy will not watch Spoon TV, Spoon Talk Show anytime soon, because the gentlemen and some of the ladies on our show, they got no moral character. Every one of them got no moral character for me to go and sit there. Why? Because they know that Benjamin Senvi took the Liberian people money and he's not having any remorse to pay back that money. But they are all dead late. The country is fucked up. The country is fucked up. All right? The country is fucked up. Let me tell you. You got hyena praising some type of pattern, or hyena praising coyote, That's how the country is today. Man, Ben Senvi, what position is he in right now? When you know, and if you didn't know, you are about to know. He borrowed $45,000 from the Liberian government and no moral value to pay that money back. But because Liberia doesn't have any guidelines and rule to operate or solve problem, the country called Liberia doesn't have any value or ethical standard. Anybody can go to that country and do anything and nobody will say anything about it. That's exactly what Benjamin Senvi has done to that country. Then he want to sit on a panel and want to talk about moral integrity when that man got a problem with financial issue. And many of you gotta live in this country. This country we live in does not operate on cash economy. It operates on borrow or credit process. And because if you maintain good credit line, you can get what you deserve or what you think money, big money can give you. And this man is sitting there and nobody's saying anything about what he has done. So you see, one guy returned US $50 to a Liberia business woman, while another guy who borrowed 45,000 United States dollars from the Liberian government, that money belonged to the Liberian people, refused to make any payment arrangement to pay the money back. But you got other individuals who want to be popular. You see, they show you're watching throughout the day. It is not giving you any relevant knowledge to understand good behavior versus bad behavior, moral ethics versus unethical behavior. They're not giving this thing to you guys. So they're not measuring you, they're not teaching you what are the value and principle that Liberia should base how things should be done. They're not giving it to you. They're only giving you the entertainment, what they want you to hear. And that's why you see today, God and Benjamin Senvi with that kind of tainted financial character is sitting on our show and he's showing no remorse about the many Liberians that he denied, including this young man you're looking at here. Because that money he took from that government, this young man's future was in that money, and he left and came over here and refused to pay that money. But the young man who found that money with honesty with his friends decided to give that money back to the owner. But this guy called Benjamin Senvi refused to pay the money back to the Liberian people. You follow me there? Now, one of the reasons why I don't watch Spoon Talk, they can get all the million people in the world. I don't see any qualities in all of them. They are dishonest people. They are not honest. They claim to live in America here. They are not honest people. They are wolf in sheep clothing. They got no value. No value. The day you see me watching Spoon Talk with Benjamin Senvi, the one you watch every night, then you can come be dumber in my what you might call. I have no moral, no ethical, no respect for those guys. Because you know why? They are not standing up for you. They are not. You got a man who took $45,000 from the government. And he's not even coming up to say, guys, I will make payment arrangement. At least payment arrangement. To show to the younger generation that when you borrow money from somebody, you should be able to pay it back. Let me tell you what happened to one of my friends. And I got to get rid of Benjamin Senvi from here today. So I just got off the phone with one of my friends. He left Liberia in 1981. 1981. He had been on Facebook. I spoke to him and he told me since 1981, he visited Liberia this year, March. And I had the opportunity to talk to him today. Imagine somebody left Liberia in 1981. He had a picture of the 1980s where he left still in his mind. When he came back, his assessment of things, he said to himself, I'm not going back over there again. I will just die here now. And I asked him why. He said, oh God, I don't know what they're doing over there. He said, they don't know what they're doing over there. He used a very old phrase that I never ever thought I was going to remember. He said, oh God, back there they are doing things by heart. By heart. By heart. That's why he said they are doing things by heart. And that's why got the country messed up at that. Let me say hi to a few people here. Thomas Awaji says Sam is going back to school again. Oh my God. That man got thousands of dollars in medical bills. Yes, that's who he is. That's why he's hustling around. Amara Keita said Morovia not properly laid out, extreme difficulty accessing homes. That's true. And what can be done, Amara? Nobody putting their head to work, nobody putting their brain, nobody having sleepless night or solving the problem. LIB guy, you say Ben friends will call him to tell him Randy on you again. I love that. Let them call him. Benjamin Sanvi, no, he live in America here. I live in America here. We deal with people with integrity. He doesn't have no integrity, LIB guy. He is a financial fraud. He got no character. He lived with that kind of tinted character. Let the friends then call him. I ain't there for them because you know what? When Jay Randy talk, it is Jay Randy. Because what? We fight every day to protect our character here. When I borrow 1 cent from you, I will do everything in my weak way to pay that 1 cent back to you. Ben, same V will go out there and borrow $45,000 with all no remorse. Don't want to pay the money. He does not have a character of responsibility. He's not responsible. He is financially irresponsible person. And those who bring him in their corner to say, come and work with us, they themselves too, they got no integrity at all. You know, when people start giving you money here and there, check them out. If they don't have no value principle, no guidelines, not all money are created equal. Why it is true that not all characters are created equal, we must make sure that our character meets certain criteria that make us to be better people. Benjamin Senvi and all the guys on the Spoon Talk, not for me, my friend. Not for me. Not for me. If they were the only people on Facebook, I would just release myself off Facebook and find something else to do. But I'm glad that they are not the only people. And Liberians who sit there and watch them, I'm sorry to say this. And I don't blame you for what I'm about to say. Because you see, when we live in America here, our character is one of the things that we protect with everything we got. Because your character in this country means a lot to you. From financial responsibility to social responsibility to academic responsibility to professional responsibility to ethical standard, moral value. All those things are around our character, and we try to make sure that we score a higher points in all the indicators around us. And with that, you are well respected in this country called the United States of America. The money you get from other people, including your paycheck, it is being borrowed from places to places. You really don't own money. You only own the property that the money buys for you because it is other people's money. As you walk to the bank to cash your check, that money you're taking is somebody who just deposited the check. When you go into deposit, somebody coming outside and taking your money. That's why when people issue you loan in this country, credit cards, it is other people's money that you're going out there to spend. And with the expectation that you will be responsible to pay it back, that is why I make you to be a better person with a good financial character in this country. Benjamin Simbi don't have that. So those who sit down and watch Spoon TV with such a man who has taken such a huge amount from Liberian and then want to come here and want to sit on a panel to look at a young man who did the right thing to prove his character, So where do we stand as Liberians? What is right that we should support and what is wrong that we need to speak about? I guess we don't have none of those things. We're ready. So if you believe in character, if you believe in standards, if you have set your bar to say, this is what I would do, this is what I will not do, because it makes in certain element of value that I believe should be the right things to do. And you sit over there and see Benjamin Senvi sitting on a panel and all his friends then say nothing about what he had done to the Liberian people, and then you find pleasure sitting down there. Then you yourself too, you got a problem. A problem. What did it say? All birds of the same color fly together, right? So that means you got a problem too. So let's make progress here, all right? And let's come to Jefferson Koji here. So this is Jefferson Koji here. So this dude brought in a pastor, and let's listen to what the pastor say here right now, all right? So let's listen to the pastor here, all right? Let us listen to the pastor.
Just around the same place. And that's why the nation just people around.
All right, hold on. Something. All right, so let me bring you here so we can start the video over. All right, so we're going to start the video over again. I want you to listen to the pastor here, all right? So Jefferson Koji got no plan for the country. He brought in a man of God, thinking that the man of God going to help him, and that's why he's. So let us listen to the man of God and hear what the man of God has to say, all right? So Jefferson Koji got no plan for the city. He bringing in somebody who is coming to talk on behalf of him, all right? So let's listen to him here, all right? Let's listen to him. Bringing the man of God here to come and talk for him. Okay, so let's see how far we can go with this. So there you go. Man of God is supposed to talk.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is
the press.
and I want to Lordship, Honorable Koji, who is the great leader of our city. We are happy to have him at this press conference. We thank you for allowing me. The spiritual revolution of Nigeria was initiated in Minnesota, Minnesota, where I live. While I was praying for Liberia, asking God, what is Liberia's problem? Why Liberia is like this? We need your intervention. The Lord said to me that Liberia's problem is spiritual. From 1980 to 20 years, Liberia was saved of God. You can see the evidence.
So rather than Jefferson Koji trying to bring expert of people to discuss the challenges in the country, and don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with him bringing men of God to come and pray, but Jefferson Koji is bringing a pastor to come and talk about the challenges that he had not faced head on to solve the problem. And that is one of the major problems in the country there. All right? So let's make progress here.
Preamble from Christian nation to secular nation. All of these grieve God. So that's why he said for 40 years, Liberians have been grieving him. So the spiritual revolution that God had given us for the deliverance of this nation, which I have come from all the way Minnesota to deliver it to the Liberian people, call for, as I said, national repentance.
So the pastor wants you to understand that the reason why the city is dirty because of men turning against God. And Jefferson Koji brought this man here to make sure that you understand that the reason the city is dirty because God is saying that Liberians are not worshiping him, they are not doing the right thing. That's exactly what he's saying here right now. That is the solution to the problem of the city. You see how messed up the country is, ladies and gentlemen. You're in it for a long time. Yes, we're in it for a long time. You're in it for a long time. That's how the country is. That's how the country is, folks. That's how the country is.
This
So if this is scheduled to spend time to listen to what God says about Liberia deliverance, and yet called to help us to draw up in this deliverance of our country. So our submission is setting that we are to work together for Liberia deliverance. I can assure that there is God's hand. There is a blessing. God.
So instead of solving the problem, instead of bringing professional people to discuss the challenges in a country, Jefferson Koji brought in a man of God that will assure him that God will be able to solve the people problem. Don't get me wrong, I had no qualms against any man of God, but this mayor had not come out to give you any hope that he can do X, Y, Z. But here he is bringing a man of God. Now, let's move away from the video here. Just in case if you don't know, here is Mayor Koji here. You remember the visit that Ellen Johnson said he made to Sierra Leone? Yeah, Jefferson Koji right here. Jefferson Koji, as we speak right now, he is in Sierra Leone. What is he doing there? You be my guest. Listen to him right now. All right? So this is Jefferson Koji at real time in Sierra Leone right now as we are speaking. He met this lady here sometime last year or this year. Now, after Ellen came and met with this lady, Jefferson Koji is now in Sierra Leone. Listen to what the lady is about to say here.
It's a real pleasure to have you here. We've been planning a trip, which is going to be a return visit from our visit. This isn't that trip. This is just you here for a day. We still want to do that trip properly. Where we plan it, we got stuff we see, stuff that we do together. Today.
So let me tell you what happened here, folks. All right? So let me tell you guys what happened here. Jefferson Koji is very incompetent. So when Ellen went to Sierra Leone, I believe she met with the city mayor and said, hey, mom, that boy in Monrovia, the city mayor, he got no idea. And it would be a shame if the Liberian people who are smarter continue to embarrass him, and he cannot perform the job. So can you send for him? You put something together, send for him so that he can come and see what you're doing here. But when he get to you, your out there is some kind of surprise visit because you know our people out there, we got to distract them from the main point and you show him. So you listen to the city mayor, she's going to tell you that tomorrow there will be some activities taking place, even though her city is not clean, which is not true because she doesn't want to embarrass Jefferson Koji. Sierra Leone is getting up there. They are doing their best they can. So listen to her.
Today you're here. Join us as we launch the Heat Champion, City Champion Action Project tomorrow, the initiative tomorrow. And we'll talk more about that tomorrow.
So you hear that? So tomorrow she'll be launching a very good program. That whole plan she's going to be launching tomorrow for the city. This lady has a solid waste or sanitary plan for Freetown. All right. But as far as Jefferson Koji go, he got none. So Jefferson Koji is in Sierra Leone to actually see what the lady has done and if possible steal her idea and bring it to Liberia. But what good will it do? You can bring all the idea you want, but if you don't have the professional people to do the work for you, it means nothing. All right, so let's listen to her.
But for now, we're so glad you're here safely. It was a long journey. I'm sure you're hungry, so we have some food. I'm gonna say one thing though. When we went to Monrovia, we went, and one of the main things we talked about was sanitation. We are in the middle of a serious challenge which Mayor knows about. Our sanitation work is under sabotage. That's all I can say. Our workers have not been paid for 3 months. Our vehicles are all down. There's a major issue and you'll sense it tomorrow. But when you walk around the city, you won't see the clean city that we have been showing you because we have been going through this for 4 months now. but there's always an end to every challenge, and we know the end is in sight. I want to thank my brother.
And last time I asked Jefferson Koji, what are the challenges facing you as a mayor? Is it lack of technical skills? That means you don't have institutional knowledge of people. Or is it social skills? You don't have the ability to engage your people. Is it economic challenge that you have? What does he have that he can say? Nothing. But the lady said within the past 3 months, she had been challenged with logistical issue in order to get her trash. And that's why she's trying to resuscitate the program again. That means she has a plan. But one of the challenges she's facing, it has to do with logistics in terms of vehicle to begin their work they were doing before. So Jefferson Koji got no idea on how things work, but he only want to be in there dressing here and there. But that's like, bro, for you guys, folks. I don't live there. I'm not intending living there, but I'll just come and expose things here for you guys. So let's wrap it up with the Omar here.
Because we talk about it and encourage you. It's been tough, but we'll get through it. So I feel really, really strongly about sanitation. It's painful for me to have guests in my city and for my city not to be looking the way it normally looks. So bear with us.
The question, why do you think Jefferson Koji went over there? For what? For what? Why do you think Jefferson Koji went over there? You think he really went over there by himself, by his will? No. It was Ellen who told him in a meeting, you gotta go to that woman over there. That woman got a lot of ideas. Go and borrow some more ideas. But you should do it in a way that you're planning to pay a visit. Jefferson Koji had no plan of going to Sierra Leone. But because Ellen went to that office and told him certain things, that's the reality you see now. So whatever Jefferson Koji is doing, go on the field tomorrow and walk rail line. Walk the different places in rail line. After 2 days, get yourself in Sierra Leone. Those are all early distraction and plan for Jefferson Koji to follow. And we know it because we understand how Jefferson Koji operates. All right? So that's Jefferson Koji.
And know that this is not Freetown. And know that this in a few months, I'm sure we would have overcome this hurdle, and then you will come for that visit when you'll see Freetown the way it should be. But for now, thank you. For now, welcome to Freetown and bon appetit. Mayor?
For the biggest presentation here tonight is this gentleman here. You are looking at Alexander Cummings here, and this is what we are here to talk about. He can take the idea back to Liberia, but without a plan, nothing will change in Monrovia. And you're absolutely right, Thomas Awaji. Yes, Jefferson Koji can take all the plan he wants. He can visit all the city in the world. He can even go to Kigali, see the people plan. They can even hand it over to him. As long as he doesn't have the people with the skills to do the job, it's going to be for nothing. The guy is unfit to do the job. He came into that position with no prior experience. Let any suggestion, any supporter of his, tell me, where did he work before he took that position or before he was appointed to that position? He got no clue. You can do whatever you want to do. You can say whatever you want to say. Inexperience, there is no excuse for inexperience. He don't have the skills. So now, guys, let's listen to Alexander Cummings here. Yesterday, he said some things, and I want us to analyze it here. All right. It was a video broadcast, and I don't want to hold you up, but let's listen to what Mr. Cummings is about to say here. All right. Very, very interesting thing so that we can begin to analyze.
My name is Alexander Cummings, and I want to work with honest men and women to change Liberia for the better.
Over there. He said his name is Alexander Cummings. He wants to work with honest men and honest women. Where you think those phrases come from? Do you think they come from Liberia? No. How you think Cummings adapted to kind of belief system? You think is from him being a Liberian? No. Cummings adapted the honesty of men and women on the job from working within the American corporate structure. While it is true that the structure in America is not perfect, they try every time to improve their errors in order not to repeat it or be a role model of those things. So now, when Cummings say he wants to work with honest people, both men and women, do you think God and Benjamin Senvi meet that criteria? You know what honesty is? Honesty is doing the right thing. Honesty is standing for the truth. Honesty is fighting lies and bringing in more truth. Honesty comes from what you do, and be honest to say, I can do it and I cannot do it. There are many people who supporting Joe Burkhardt today. They are very dishonest. They know they're not qualified for any position, but they will want to support Joe Burkhardt so they can go out there and begin to do things that they have no clue about, no job experience. So honesty is about telling yourself the truth. How many of you guys today chasing behind Joe Burkhardt? Just how you see Joe Weir when he appointed many incompetent people because they were not honest enough to say, you know what, George Weir, I can't do the job. I'm not fit for the job. But they can do it. LRB guy, Yasia Wally say, Randy, I think you need to go down and help Jefferson Koji as a consultant. Yasia, I can't go to Liberia right now because the way I'm very, very open with my criticism, something bad may happen to me. But we can sit here and then we can discuss the challenges. Jefferson Koji had to put people on the field to conduct a waste stream analysis or waste stream characterization to understand which composition source is the major contributor to the garbage generation in the country. Once you do that composition, is that you create a chart from 1 to 10, identifying the different components, whether it's plastic, whether it's wooden waste, whether it's whatever you have in there, garbage, food, you name it. If you see the composition and you begin to track the source or trace the source from where it comes from. Eddie Johnson Salif, where is my stuff here? Where did I put it? Where's my bag? I think my bag is over there. There's something I wanted to show you guys. I hope it's right here so that I can move from here. I really wanted to show you guys something here. Eddie Johnson Salif did something similar like that. All right, she did something similar like that. Let me see where I can get my hand on my bag. All right, just give me a second here. Let me step away here. It's very important I show you guys that. Should be in my bag right here. All right. So it should be in my bag here. I hope I can find it for you guys here. Should be here. Lord Jesus Christ, help me here. Because I believe I brought that thing home yesterday. Yes. I believe I brought that thing home yesterday. Let's see here. It should be somewhere. All right, let me check in my bag here. So I'm going to take everything up from in here. And for my guys out there, you know how we rule here, right? If you're a stranger here, you come to join us here. Well, too bad for you because there I will show you we are presenting lesson here. We're not just here to be making noise. So when I take a break away from my lecture, I'm trying to show something to my guys who work with me all the time here and they know how I roll with my stuff. All right, let's see here. It's not here. Let me look on the other side here. I don't think I am lucky to find that stuff here, guys. I'm not lucky to find it here. Oh, I'm lucky. We are in luck. We got it. Yes, we got it. We got it. You see, one of the incompetency of Jefferson Koji, and when Cummings say I need honest people to work with me, Jefferson Koji is not honest to himself. Had he been an honest guy, he would have looked in the face of George Weir and said, Mr. President, to be honest with you, I have not worked in any position. The Monrovia City position is bigger than me. And you know in our Liberian parlance, something that you don't know is bigger than you, Mr. President. I can't do this job. I don't want to lie to you. I don't want to bring shame to you, Mr. President. If Jefferson Koji were honest to himself, he would have said that. And then the president would guide him to say, you know what? Take the job, but I will fund and I will support you to bring good people around you to support you. And that way the burden will be on the president rather than on Jefferson Koji. But when Jefferson Koji was given a position without any flinch, blink, or hesitation, he took over that job. Now, let me show you something here. You see the report here? Let me have this. You see here? It says what? Assessment of solid waste management in Liberia. You see the year there? July 2017. The alien administration paid the United Nations Environmental Protection Program, UNEP. Those guys came to Liberia and did a waste stream analysis. Let me show you that here, all right? Just show you a sector here. In this document, the primary, and as you can see here, I will show you guys everything here, all right? Let me see what I can show to you guys. You see here, the primary objective, and I will just read a few for you. The primary task of this exercise was to undertake, in consultation with the EPA, a review of the solid waste management sector of Liberia, in particular, the role, responsibility, and legal mandate of the key public actor through Liberia, the public institution framework for waste management. These people put a program together. And let me show you what it did here. All right. Here, what the people found on here. You see the waste composition there? Waste composition of Monrovia. In Monrovia. Paper, glass, metal, plastic, leather, rubber, wood, bronze, I believe. All right? Textile, vegetable, and you name it. They broke it down. What do you think Jefferson Koji should have done? When Jefferson Koji took office, he should have reviewed this document because it is a framework that already put together. And you know what you are going to find in there? You are going to find how the city should be clean. Because here is the structural design of the city here. You see right here, the EPA, the Ministry of Lands and Mines, the Public Works, Ministry of Internal Affairs, and the Solid Waste Management Program. He didn't really know those things because he's not educated on those things. He got no clue. And that's why the city is like that. But the key thing I want you to understand is that he's not an honest guy. And that's why he's catching hell. And I'm not here to help him up. If I'm to help him up, he got to pay me good money. So let's come back to Alexander Cummings here again. So let's listen to Cummings here.
I want to open the doors of governance to all capable persons. I want to use the collective brain power of all of our men and women.
He said he wants to open up the door to all capable persons. Who do you think and how is he going to qualify a capable person? In the world of Alexander Cummings, do you think a capable person is somebody who just sit on Facebook all day and just talk, oh, this one here, oh, this one? What Cummings meant by capable person? Remember he's talking about honesty. Now he's mentioning about capable person, both men and women. So make sure you jot down and bullet point those things. Honesty, capable person, with the brain to do things. Why you think and who you think Cummings is talking about when he made such a comment like that? You know, this show is not about Booker's bombshell. Exactly. This show is about the reality of life, the reality of professionalism, the reality of taking on challenges with a sense of well-designed measure implementation of knowledge and skills. So what does Coming mean? So Coming is making a very salient and solid point here. He's trying to redefine himself. While it is true that he's making some important points to me, there are still some other challenges in what he said in this entire video. If time permits, we'll discuss that. If not, we'll have to postpone it to another time. So you got what? Honesty. Now you have capable. Let's listen to the next one, all right? So let me.
I want to build a nation of self-sufficiency. I want to build an environment that thrives on and promotes a vibrant Liberian private sector. I want to ensure that we are a nation where education is key in all of our national development priorities. I want to create and nurture a development agenda that ensures our young people have jobs when they graduate from school.
The last time Cummings had an interview, he prioritized macroeconomy based on credit. And he said education will be part of his plan, but it will not come out as soon as he takes office. And it shouldn't be a rush decision that his policy will work on these things. So now Cummings is now making the broadcast now and saying he will make education mandatory. Let me tell you where Cummings getting this thing from. Cummings listen to us on the show here, because when we analyze his conversation with Sekou and the other guys, Cummings listen to the show. So now he coming as part of his agenda. He's now putting macroeconomy first. He's not putting agriculture first. He's not talking about education, because Cummings listen to us and we say education should not be a secondary but a primary bullet point of things. So he's coming. But the bright side is Coming is now defining a central message. You remember I told you guys about every campaign will have 3 things within the central message, because the central message is between 1 to 100 words that clearly state what the political party representative should have and be ready to give to the Liberian people. And the central message should contain 3 things: identify the problem, begin to find solution, and turn the direction. So when Cummings is telling you that I need honest people, capable people to work to bring those guys together to begin to solve problems on his agenda that include education, those are the things that I just mentioned to you, that his agenda. That's why he's trying to envision right now to you. So that listen to him more.
I want to create an environment where our women have access to equal opportunities in every aspect of our society. I want to promote a system that uses our country's natural resources for the benefit of all. I want to see our country.
So when we did our analysis the other day, when I said Cummings went to Kidman and saw the resources being taken out of the country, what did we mention on that show? You can go back and listen to the video. I said that Cummings, it is one thing to see the gold being taken away, but what system do we have in place to prevent the gold from not being taken place? Cummings had taken the note from our show here. Folks, we may have only 2 people watching us, but the brain that we put out there, like somebody said on the show, and I believe them 100%, Randy, the limited people that are watching you, they are probably government officials. They are not the regular people. And how do we measure our input that we put on Facebook? By what we hear these guys come out to say. Cummings' video today is including most of the things that we analyze on that Sunday. Yes, most of the things that we analyze on that Sunday are the things that Cummings is now putting together. Tomorrow, what you say, how will Cummings find the qualified, honest people? How will he vet those people? That is the second phase of our analysis, Thomas. Like I said, we might not be able to do it today because we are pressed with time, but that would be the second round of this video here, because you're right. It is one thing to come up with all the proposals, suggestions to people. However, it is the challenge to make these people available to you because you have that agenda. So, yes, Thomas, your questions are valid. And I think that will be the second phase. Yes. So that's a very important question there. And I will say this. Arabica, you say, I can care less about Cummings, but jobless Facebook talk show host hate him because he will hire people based on experience and educational background. It seems to me he will not be controlled by those power hungry guys. Yes, Arabica, you're right. And that's the battle that is being fought right now. The battle of control, the battle of micromanagement. That's why you see most of the guys that are supporting Joe Boycott, when you look at their history in this country, when you look at what they do here, it gave you a sense that you should know that they're supporting Cummings, Boycott, because they know Cummings will not give them that opportunity. All right? So let's listen to Cummings more here.
To flourish beyond our wildest imagination. We are capable of doing it if we work together. We may not all agree all of the time, but we can set aside our differences and work towards charting a new course without the infighting, backbiting, and backstabbing. Whether you're a member of the ANC, ALP, LP, or UP, we must channel our support for individual candidates into championing our collective objective, defeating the Weah administration in the 2023 presidential and legislative elections, and ushering in a governance more prepared, more capable, more experienced, more skilled, and more honest men and women.
So what I told you guys before, right? In most of my conversation, I said until a political party can put together the professional people that will not only come with the party support, people who will come with the experience, expertise in different areas, that's exactly what Cummings is saying here. You see, the guy listening to what I put out here, because you know what, guys? We have a very professional team of people, and that include you guys, that we sit here and discuss issue here. Your comment means a lot. So again, everything Cummings is saying here, it boils down to Thomas Awaji question, and let me just put it right back up here. How will Cummings find a qualified, honest people? That is the battle line. That is the last straw in the jar that you need to take. How is he going to meet his team? Because everything he's saying here, it falls right back to what Thomas Awaji is asking here. He wants to build a vibrant society. He wants to redirect the country's future. But how is he going to do that? Yes. How is he going to do that? Is he going to cross party line, or is he going to do something else? Let's see here. Thomas Awaji say here again, there are many capable citizens. Cummings need to include all Liberians, not just CPP. That's true. There are many capable citizens here. So how does he reach out to them? It's not just making the announcement out there. He need to be able to engage. When Cummings come to the United States, he need to call for a location where professional librarians can go and spend a day with them. Make sure that they put them in different workshop section and have the interaction with them. Put everybody in a separate group and you have the discussion. Because Cummings need to understand the challenges in the country. That is the first part. And people begin to find solution to the problem. That is the second part. And then he coming out can determine what the direction of the country wants to go. Yes. So Arabika, you say here, what is Cummings waiting for to leave the crazy party? Well, he cannot leave the party now because according to them, there are some clauses that they already agreed to. But I think what he needs to do is to start to fight for himself. Yes. I mean, what if he's not elected as the presidential candidate? What will he do? Everything he's saying here now will be nothing rather. But I can tell you guys this. I think Cummings will leave because everything Cummings is saying here, technically he's campaigning for his ANC. And that means that he's not nominated as the head of the CPP ticket. He already set in the basic, giving you the clue that this is what his administration will be. And if for any reason he leave the CPP, he will be able to come and run on his own. But it is yet to be determined. Yes. So my brother Yasia say here, Randy, considering all factors being constant, do you think Cummings can change the system of the day? No, Cummings is not going to change the system of the day, but Cummings can have an impact on the system. Yes. Putting in place the rightful people, maintaining institutional knowledge of people, it will begin to lay the foundation to change the course of the country. You see, Yasia, when Jerry Rawlings was trying to change the course of Ghana, he overthrew the first administration and put a military guy, I mean, I know a military surveillance guy in there. It didn't work. He went back there and took it from there. Throughout a course of time, Ghana was not better, but he set the direction of the country. Although today, Ghana continues to improve. Is Ghana 100% free? No. We need a leader who will turn the ship around. Think about you driving down south and you are going too deep into south, but your direction, actual direction is the north. You want to start turning that car. Whether you turn it towards the west so that you can work your way up to the north, or whether you turn it towards the southeast, the southwest to get to the north, that's what we need right now. Because for over 174 years, the country has been heading in the wrong direction. So a Cummings is coming, that where you have to manage the expectation. The expectation must be managed. And Cummings need to be able to say that to Liberians. Manage your expectation. Don't just think when I become president, everything going to be this. No, you got to manage the expectation. That's why you don't over promise, but you promise and honor promise. And on top of that, tell them about the expectation. Because Liberians, right now, George Weah and people are messing things up. So all the oppositions in the ANC, ALP, and the Unity Party, Liberty Party, they just think that whoever will take after Weah will start to solve all the age-old problems. That's not going to work. And this is where they need to educate the people. I don't know why I even say anything here, to be honest with you guys. I don't know why I say this thing. I ain't getting no damn pay here. But you know what? I love our tabletop discussion, guys. Yes, I love the tabletop discussion, and I enjoy the pleasure here. Yes, our class size is so sweet. I enjoy it here. So that's a very important question you asked. Yasia, I love the question. Considering all factor constant, all factor being constant, do you think? No. My honest answer, speaking about honesty, it will not be changed easily. Change is one of the things that people do not like. When you see snake trying to bite you, when you see lion trying to do something to you, it's because they don't want the change that you're trying to bring. They don't want your friendship. They don't want to change yourself. Anything that you try to do to bring about change, there will be resistance. Even in your own house, the way you do things. Somebody come there tomorrow morning and say you have to do it this way, there will be a resistance. But you have to manage how you introduce that process. By telling Liberian people to manage their expectation is what will be done. So yeah, it's a very valid question you asked, bro, and I appreciate you for asking that question. All right. So, Thomas, why'd you say LIB got you? Having CPP whom solve the problem. We need a collective effort to move the country forward. Yes, this has to be a united Liberians effort. This has to be a chemistry of Liberians. Cummings need to begin to teach Liberians that the problem we have cannot be solved by local Liberians alone. But the honesty among every Liberians with the capability will help us to begin to change things. And the change that we're asking for is not going to happen in 6 years. But we will try to make progress by giving you guys progress report within the time that we serve this country. And it Cummings maintain a progress report over time. For every 3 months throughout his presidency, and he continued to get update. And every ministry continued to get an update. And every minister, director continued to provide to Cummings their 3 to 6 year vision plan. And every month they update the Liberian people to keep them abreast on things that are happening, things happening in the community, to be able to reach out and be able to engage with them. the Liberian people will start to see the change. Because when the Liberian people start to cry over things and Cummins officials are going to them, engaging them, and whatever they suggest, they try to integrate some and let some of them know that not everything will be integrated. The people will feel that the government belongs to them because they own the government. And the reason they own the government, they can engage government officials and government officials can work with them. And that's how you start to see the change will start to come here. Elder guy, you say here, but it appears they will all want to be the presidential candidate for CPP, specifically GMB. And then where now we will become president, Elder guy. Because if these guys don't get their act together and they start fighting, we will become president. And it's not a strange thing. Remember, I don't know how old are you, but I know that when the coalition of the willing, they went and took on Charles Taylor, when Charles Taylor went to Ghana for some summit, all the Warren faction combined and went and took over Banga. Instead of having one leadership, they were fighting over power. Charles Taylor came from behind and cleared all of them up. And he restored his power in Banga. These guys don't learn. They are so indebted to power. You know, when somebody addicted and indebted to power, that's who the guys are in CPP. They are not focused on the real issue. They are focused on the wrong issue. So if they don't get their act together, we will come behind them and just snatch the thing, and there go the opportunity for us. So they need to get their act together. Put down the ego. Put down the ego. Don't listen to foolish people on Facebook who just go and talk about crazy things that got no idea. They don't have the inside, not the outside, but they just stay from somewhere and just talk crap. This is left and a better future. Your left can get screwed up, or you can secure a better future for your family. And that's why people are messing with you. And Librarian need to understand that. Let me progress here. Thomas Awaji here, he says here, we could learn so much from Ghana and Rwanda. Yes, and that is what Thomas Awaji, Alexander Cummings was very smart. I won't say smart, but if he is very open-minded to ideas, Cummings could start to look at different programs from Ghana and Nigeria, and Rwanda and other countries across Africa, and begin to engage a policy team. Like I said, every political party need to have a policy team. The role of the policy team is to look at how other countries' programs are being engaged and what are the successes they are having. And politics is not cheap. Send some people out there to go in and see how the country is making progress. What program? How are they engaging the people? And then just take the case study and come back and say, look, Chief, this is how I think we can solve problems in this country as it relates to solid waste. Because the people in this country, the people in our country hear what they're doing and it's working. You hear what I gather from the few when I visited those places. So it's not easy. Liberia is a country that got more problem than any problem in any mathematics book. And in order to begin to solve most of the problem in there, we need to take a structured approach with emphasis on every challenge sector in our country, from the human behavior to the lack of technical skills to logistic, and you name it. We need to take a structured approach to all these things, and it doesn't come overnight. It only starts with planning, where we can put people together and begin to engage the different programs. Set the program, set the budget, put the program in action, measure it, see where it can be accomplished, it can be achieved, and then you work towards it. And by the same time, engage the people and let the people engage you in solving the problem. The problem of Liberia is very easy to solve, even though the challenges are many. Bring the people together and sit the people down. Liberian people are not animals. They have ears to listen. They got a mind of their own. But once you tell them what the problems are and begin to tell them what will be the consequences or the ramification of what's happening, they will learn. You got to allow the Liberian people to have a say in what you plan you have and not just tell them what to do. And I want the challenge that Jefferson Koji is having. I want the challenge the President Weah is also having. Building the marketplaces, relocating the people. It is a good gesture. But what good will it be when the people themselves you're trying to relocate are not even part of the decision-making process? It's going to be very difficult. In order to get people to get the buy-in, you have to be able to have them engaged. Sit down with the people and say, look, how can we get this thing right? In America here, before a road pass through a little city, the council board and the engineers will sit down and have a discussion. And that's why you see sometimes when you drive on some highway, you see the soundproof wall. Where do you think that soundproof wall suggestion came from? It came from the people who live in the community. Say, okay, we appreciate your road here, but if the road going to pass here and it's going to be a very basic road, we want to sleep at night. So what can you guys do? The engineers say, okay, we'll put the soundproof wall in there. Case closed, because they themselves will benefit from that road too. But in order for them to benefit, they got to understand. So that is the cost benefit. Does the cost to build that road going to benefit the people? Yeah, so you got to look at the cost benefit ratio. And these are things you discuss. But your guy will not find people on Facebook talking this thing here, especially the people with a bigger platform. Liberian people like to bring people who are very dramatic, and because it's all about popularity. And Liberia today, and let's be frank here, guys, when you look in the Liberia Popularity Index, we are not in there. The J. Randy Tabletop Show is not listed in the Liberians Facebook in Popularity Index. Yes, this show is not listed in the Liberian Facebook Talk Show Host Index, Popularity Index. We are not on there. All right? So don't look in our index because you're not found in there. Because in order to be in our index, you gotta be having thousands of people every time you come on. Then you are part of the Liberia Facebook Talk Show Popularity Index. We are not in there yet. We got a long way to go. Our own, we got a long way to go. Maybe by 2065, before we'll be thinking about getting maybe 100 people to watch us. But nevertheless, we're making a lot of sense here. All right. So the people must be engaged. Yes. So enough with the talk. Let's listen to comments here.
With your help, we can move Liberia to being a better country. I thank you. God bless you and God bless Liberia. Bless you and God bless Liberia. My name is.
So there you have it with comments there. All right. There you have it with comments. So LRB Gayu, let me see here. He said Liberia is in trouble. I heard Prophet Key and that Lamb of God will be running for a senatorial position. Yeah, I mean, if they want to run that, Liberian people business. Like I always say to people, don't underestimate the ignorance of the Liberian people. Don't underestimate that. Yes, don't underestimate that. And one of the reasons that is very challenging too. So yesterday I listened to Michael Gilman, right? You see, one of the things that damaging our country too is the honesty that Mr. Cummings is talking about here. And I hope that Mr. Cummings' administration will be driven or will use honesty as the measuring tools and guidelines on how, if he wins the election, he will operate. Because many of us are losing the integrity of being honest. We don't have no respect for honesty. So yesterday, I had the opportunity to listen to Michael Gilman, the guy who always talked for CDC government. Do you know that he refused to play the video of the other guy who video we played yesterday in regards to the motorcyclist and the $50,000? He refused to play that video. And, but they were the same Michael Gilman guy who, during the World War I, World War II in Liberia between 2000 and 2004, he was at the embassy calling for justice. But people play his video, right? People play his video, show to the world that Liberia was not a safe place, and he was right before the embassy. I can't put my hand on that video right now, but it's somewhere in my archive here, and I don't want to waste your time. But this is the man who refused to give somebody the voice to be heard by other Liberians. That's the lack of honesty there. Liberian men will always want you to put them first when it comes to their situation. But when it comes to other people's situation, they put it into a bit, whether it should be or it should not be. So how can we believe in these guys who support the government when they are not being very open to what the Liberian people should know about? So let me see what LRB Gayu say. I think the conversation between LRB Gayu and here, we are not listed, but they all steal from us. Yes, that's the 80-20 rule. We are not listed in the Liberia Popularity Facebook Talk Show Index. We are not listed there. However, they steal our idea. That's great. Because you know what? We are not part of the 80%. We are part of the 20%. And the 20% make more sense to control the 80%. Because what we say here, the words that we say here is more powerful than what the 80%. And that's why we are part of the 20%. All right. So let me progress here again. Thomas Awaji say here, the sad thing is there is a possibility that he could win. Yes. Yeah, Mr. We could win. I don't know whether we're talking about we are right here, Thomas, but yeah, but there's a possibility that he could win because if these guys they don't get their act together, they don't get because right now we are almost to the end of this year. Starting next year, we are going to be looking at the eve of the election. And these guys are still fighting over power because they are so power greedy. They are not put their plan together to begin to reassess the plan, reevaluate the plan. Because when you have a plan together, or when you start the planning phase or having a plan that you're going to incorporate, there will be time that you have to erase and reread, you have to realign and retweet and fix things. They have not reached that stage yet. So on the lip of all their followers, if they're not causing people like got a deep flow, then we'll just sit and just call somebody all day because they dislike Joe Walker and other comments people, then we'll just sit and just call somebody. That's not what the election is going to be about, causing competition. But because the leader themselves have not gotten their act together to decide who will be the front runner and how the process will elect that person, so their followers now are not in the position to begin to discuss the challenges, the issue, the solution, and the direction the party will want to take the country to. They are still in the phase of insulting each other power struggle. And that's where we will come if they are not mindful to overcome them. Don't allow your ego to say, oh, Randy, what you see is not true. I want you to focus on your understanding of what is happening now within your CPP. So take your emotion, take your ego out of what I'm saying, because your ego will mislead you. And in the end, you will only try to blame it on cheating or the person not being fair. But if you allow your own self-conscience, your common understanding, your right to know is not only or should not be limited to know, but to understand as well. You need to know this thing, you know it, that there is a fight within the CPP. But the understanding here is what is it doing to us? What impact is a negative impact is it going to have when we are not started to address the main situation here? So that may progress here again. So Thomas Awaji say here, Yasia, Todman, and Tobo have a vision for a better country. Well, for Todman, I will be a little bit restricted on that, but I think Tobo was the best. Todman started the progress. Yes, he started the progress, but he was not wide open. He opened many places that were closed up. He did that. He broke few barriers that were standing as a wall that couldn't be broken. But the best of all was Tobo. Tobo had a vision. I have Tobo playing right here, and I can show it to you guys. And the reason why I keep the plan next to me here is because Tobo has a very good plan that even any leader today, if you ever venture to say you want to read Tobo plan, trust me, you will love it and you will make progress. I love that plan. And I always praise it. Yes, I keep it with me all the time. So yeah, Tomo Awaji is right. Tobo had a very good plan. The plan that Tobo had, if that plan was still being used today. Let me just give one example here to what Tomo just said. During the Tobo era, the Ministry of Planning and Economic Affairs micromanaged everything. After every 10 years, the Ministry of Planning would take census throughout the country because after every 10 years, they assume that there will be many birthed and that birth will add number to the population. So after every 10 years, the Ministry of Planning will go through all the counties and do a population census. And then that same ministry will look at a 3 to 4 year economic projection plan, looking at the different natural resources in the country. What am I trying to say in short? The more the population increase, according to Tobo vision, there should be people who should be thinking about how to feed the mouth, educate the people, provide health care. So the Ministry of Planning will sit down and have people thinking how to make the country better. Is that ministry existing today? No. Do we have people thinking about that? No. Why? Because they don't have the vision. What do we have? We just have people who come on Facebook all day and talk about political gossip, political entertainment, while the country continues to die and die in progress. So Thomas is right. We need a leader who has a vision. All right. So Thomas come here again and say here, Randy, we are talking about Prophet Key. The sad thing is he could win election. Of course, never underestimate the stupidity of the people. Thomas is right. Never underestimate the stupidity of the people. Remember, let me just recap. You kill my man, you kill my pa, I will vote for you. Those were people who were demon possessed. When demon take charge of you, you are not yourself anymore. People who kill your mom, you come live and make that history that will never be unwritten or erased. To say you kill my mom, you kill my pa, I will vote for you. I was reading an article and I posted a picture of that article where Charles Taylor was, giving a mugshot. The story behind that is there were a report that there are some countries that did some unthinkable things in the world that will shock you. And Liberia was listed as one of the countries where a rebel leader and he again killed the family members of many Liberians, but they turn around and say, you kill my mom, you kill my pa, I will vote for you. That was insanity. And that's why they put Liberia today. And what we're doing today in our country, same thing. The insanity has perfected itself into different shape and form. We still see them today. All right. So let me progress here. So LRB Gayu, he says here, Thomas is referring to Prophet Key. Now we are. Yes. Okay. Yes. I think I catch that as well. So that's what we are, guys. So the question here is, will Cummings reach out to us? So let's play again. Cummings here, because he just started. Let's play it, and then right after that, I will have a few things to say, and then we'll call it a night. All right, guys? So let's listen to Cummings here. One more time. One more time to Cummings. All right? And let's play that.
Honest men and women to change Liberia for the better. I want to open the doors of governance to all capable persons. I want to use the collective brain power of all of our men and women. I want to build a nation of self-sufficiency. I want to build an environment that thrives on and promotes a vibrant Liberian private sector. I want to ensure that we are a nation where education is key in all of our national development priorities. I want to create and nurture a development agenda that ensures our young people have jobs when they graduate from school. I want to create an environment where our women have access to equal opportunities in every aspect of our society. I want to promote a system that uses our country's natural resources for the benefit of all. I want to see our country flourish beyond our wildest imagination. We are capable of doing it if we work together. We may not all agree all of the time, but we can set aside our differences and work towards charting a new course without the infighting, backbiting, and backstabbing. Whether you're a member of the ANC, ALP, LP, or UP, we must channel our support for individual candidates into championing our collective objective, defeating the Weah administration in the 2023 presidential and legislative elections, and ushering in a governance more prepared, more capable, more experienced, more skilled, and more honest men and women. With your help, we can move Liberia to being a better country. I thank you. God bless you and God bless Liberia. A better country. I thank you. God bless you and God bless Liberia.
Very powerful message there, very powerful message. And my recommendation to Cummings here is this, all right? While it is true that it is not a perfect decision yet to run, I would suggest to the Cummings team that this message be translated into the different vernacular so that it can go across the country. Yes. Let the people who speak the different vernacular, like the different dialect, this message should go across, because Cummings, you need to understand that Liberia is not only limited to those who speak English and understand it. Liberia is beyond English. We have different mother tongues. So my suggestion to you here is you need to have people who will translate this message of yours into the different vernaculars so our people can understand. Because when you say you want to build a system, that will give people the opportunity to believe in their country. You want to nurture. That word nurture is very key. You want to nurture a society. You want to nurture the people. That means you want to teach them. You want to help them to understand things. Those terminology need to be transformed into the different mother tongues. So that's just a free advice for you, and you guys can take that advice. All right. Yes. So I would like to come to the end of the show here, guys. So let me read a few more comments here. Thomas said, "Do you think Cummings is sincere ever his inclusive message?" We cannot determine Cummings' sincerity right now, Thomas, but I think the way that we can begin to test his sincerity is for Cummings to begin to engage on chartered territory of people. Yes, if Cummings start coming to people who are tough and start to engage them, as long as there is a mutual respect within the conversation, if Cummings can say, you know what, let me go on Randy's show today. I don't care how many people Randy has. As long as he's a Liberian and he making perfect sense, let me go on his show and hear what Randy has to say. If Randy overpower me, I will take what negative things that I did not do on Randy's show and empower myself. Because you know what? The number of people that Randy has, they could become a deciding factor for me during the election campaign. And things that I may learn from Randy will be very strong and will make me stronger during any debate. And that's why I believe he's on his show and I would like to engage him. He doesn't cause people mom. He doesn't do this. So let me go and engage and hear what he has to say. So that would be my response to that. All right. He had to go to uncharted territory to begin to engage people. Let me read down here to LB guy. You says here, Doggett coming and his boys listen to your advice. Yes, they do. They do listen. But one thing about Liberian people, LB guy, they don't give you the credit. And that is very sad. Liberia is a country that you do favor for, but they don't return the favor with goodwill. I know it is in their heart. They know what it did is wrong to you, but they will not admit it. Thomas Awaji say here, if you don't support Cummings, do you think he will honestly reach out to you? That is the question to determine Cummings' leadership. Not everyone will support any candidate, but it is up to the candidate to ask himself, am I wanting to be a president to bring the country together or to bring my supporter together? George Weah is going through the challenges today because he chose to only focus on people who support him and did not only leave out people who are in a party that did not subscribe to everything. He also left all professional people. If Cummings and his advisor cannot see those things, then they need to think more. Because you know what, Thomas Awaji? From 1847 to 2000, to 1981, it was a class segregation. The government at that time did not reach out. From 1981 of that same year to 1989, the government rejected inclusion. It did not reach to everybody. From 1991 to 2004, the Warren faction did not consider every Liberians to be part. And that one of the reasons why they split into Warren faction. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf took over in 2006. She did not engage the population. She left out the psychiatric part of our people who were victims of the war. She didn't engage that other aspect. She took care of the security, she took care of the economy, but as far as the psychological part of the people who were victims of the war, she did not reach to include those people. Today, Weah is leader, but he's very, very segregated. He's very, very prejudiced in the sense that he doesn't accept people who criticize him, but only want people who to respect him. If that is not enough for Alexander Cummings, any leader, to understand that inclusiveness is one of the key factors in the equation to be a better leader in Liberia, then I don't know what that will be. And that's when I would say by the year 2065, I think we would have had so many examples that there will be none left for us to experience again. And the generation at that time will begin to focus on what the right things to do, because we have tried all the wrong things and nothing worked. So until then, guys, I would like to say thank you guys so much for the opportunity. This is Jay Randy here. Thanks to every one of you guys. I will be back here, hopefully by God's grace, on Friday. Unless something major happen, then I will pop up on Wednesday or Thursday. But if things remain as usual, Jefferson Koji doing nothing. George, we are saying the same thing. $50,000 is giving back. $45,000 is not giving back. Those are repeated action behavior. I won't come back here. All right. And then we'll be back here on the normal schedule, which will be on Friday. Until then, thank you guys so much. Thanks to Thomas for participating so dearly today. Thanks to LRB Gayu for staying put. And thanks to everyone who stopped by and chimed in. Your presence meant a lot to me. Thank you guys so much. We are making progress to see how best we can have an impact in the coming election. And I think we will have an impact because our prediction is coming gradually and people are seeing it. And I think in time to come from now to 2023, where there will be election, we will have the voice to be able to have some say in the election. All we hope and pray for is long life and many blessings. Thank you guys. God bless you guys. And I see you guys Friday by God's grace. All right. Share the video, guys. Share the video. And thank you guys so much. All right.